family realize you weren't just babysitting grandma? My 3 older brothers called it babysitting when I moved in with our grandmother after her kidneys failed 2 years ago. They'd drop by monthly to pat themselves on the back for letting me live rent-free while I supposedly watched TV all day. During visits, they'd explain dialysis like I was 5, even though I'd been running her home treatments myself for 18 months. They ambushed me last summer as all 3 showed up with nursing home pamphlets and a social worker they'd already hired. They gathered in grandma's living room while she sat looking pale from the treatment I'd just finished. My oldest brother cleared his throat and launched into what was clearly a rehearsed speech. We all need to accept that grandma requires professional care now, and you need to stop hiding from real life and get an actual job. The social worker nodded along while my middle brother explained that kidney failure required actual medical knowledge, not just good intentions. Playing nurse and driving her to the dialysis center 3 times a week isn't a lifeline, my youngest brother added while sorting through brochures. Medicare covers places where real nurses monitor patients instead of playing video games and hoping nothing goes wrong. I tried to explain what I actually did, but he cut me off. We see the insurance claims for Monday, Wednesday, Friday treatments, he said slowly, like I might not understand. She needs round-the-clock medical care, not just someone making sandwiches and tucking her in at night. They didn't know the spare bedroom had become a sterile medical suite where I performed her dialysis myself. Every morning at 5, I calculated fluid removal rates based on ankle swelling only I could read. The insurance statements they'd been seeing clearly said home hemodialysis, but they assumed it was a billing code for the center since they couldn't imagine I was actually doing it myself. The machine runs itself anyway, my oldest brother told the social worker. You just connect tubes and watch Netflix for 4 hours. The social worker started explaining admission procedures when grandma's breathing changed in that specific way. That meant she had 20 minutes before her lungs started drowning. I ran to the spare bedroom while my brother yelled about being rude. 30 seconds later, I wheeled out the portable dialysis machine while they stared like I'd lost my mind. What the hell are you doing? My oldest brother demanded as I started hooking grandma up right there. She's going into fluid overload, and if I don't pull 800 milliliters off, she'll be dead before the ambulance arrives, I said, while my hands flew through the setup. My middle brother tried grabbing my arm saying I'd kill her, but I shoved him off and kept working. The machine started humming as blood flowed through tubes while my youngest brother screamed at me to stop playing doctor. Her jugular vein is distended and she has rails in her left lung, meaning fluids shifting toward her heart, I said while adjusting settings they couldn't comprehend. My oldest brother pulled out his phone for 911, but I told him to call Dr. Harrison instead. You're insane, he said, but made the call anyway. 7 minutes in, grandma's color returned and her breathing eased while my brothers watched in stunned silence. The social worker backed toward the door as I monitored arterial pressure. Dr. Harrison burst through the door just as I was preventing the blood pressure crash that always hit at minute 12. What's her removal rate? He asked immediately. 850 per hour with sodium modeling, I replied, checking grandma's pupils. He looked at my frozen brothers. Your sister just saved your grandmother's life. He checked grandma's vitals, shaking his head in amazement. Do you have any idea what you just witnessed? My oldest brother whispered, she never went to medical school. Dr. Harrison laughed. Your sister maintains 0 infections when our best nurses average 3 yearly, and she's now caught 14 crises before they could kill your grandmother, including right now, it's actually 15. My middle brother sank into the couch while my youngest brother stared at the machine like alien technology. But insurance shows treatments at a center, he said weakly. No, it shows home hemodialysis treatments, which is why your grandmother isn't bankrupt. Those center visits you imagined would cost $4,000 each, Dr. Harrison explained. Last month, she diagnosed a clotting disorder our lab missed just by how blood looked in the tubes. The social worker was already leaving quietly. Your 25-year-old sister performs ICU-level care alone for 18 months with better outcomes than our entire hospital unit while you thought she was playing house. Grandma squeezed my hand, looking at her grandsons with disappointment. She keeps me alive every single day, Grandma said in her strongest voice in months. I tried telling you, I said, disconnecting the emergency setup. My brothers sat in complete silence while Grandma looked at them with disgust. Why didn't you tell us? My oldest brother finally asked. Because every time I tried, you'd interrupt to explain what kidneys do like I was in kindergarten.